All right. So I actually just did this video, but then one or two other things cropped up. So um, this is basically a 2-year-old runtime of one of these little lights. This guy's been sitting outside, and let me show you the crust. So the actual solar panel, I can't honestly decide if this is a reaction from the sun or if this is possibly because it was near a cinder block wall and all this shit is like deposits and stuff. I think either way though, I think I would protect this rubber with some kind of UV protectant. And in fact, I have some shit 303 protectant. It's pretty good shit. I might try that. I might try that on one of these things, and then oops, stop. And then I had disgusting spider living on the back. So this fresh from outside. Also forgot to point out the word Bertree. Bertree. So yeah, pretty awesome. All right, so I tracked down. I bought a pair of these. I think they're about 12 bucks. So I got these for about $6 a piece. The link that I used 2 years ago at Amazon is not there anymore. Um, this is something very, very similar. However, they have what, 8 LEDs because it's better than 4, but better than 12. At any rate, I'm guessing most of these are the same, but I actually bought ones that specified the milliamp hour rating of the battery and also seemed like not a lie. So if I recall, they rated these at 1200 milliamp hour, and I believe it. So anyway, what else has happened? This is this has gotten super funky. Like, this used to be this wonderful, super glossy, smooth to the touch feeling. You can just feel the LEDs under there. Maybe this, no, it doesn't have any plastic on it. And now this is this rough, fucked up, looks like it's been reacting with the sun. We don't care too much about this. But the reason I actually wanted to redo this video is because I did have one other observation. So um, at any rate, this guy is still working. You can see it's giving off light. Right now it is not giving off usable light by any sense of the word. And I was kind of fascinated because I was seeing it get real bright and then get sort of dim. And what I ended up doing was poking at this switch quite a bit, and it actually brightened things up a little bit. So I guess first off, if you do happen to have these and it's gotten dim, but you can kind of make it get bright, kind of, I don't know, but I would suspect that switch because it is literally in line with the functioning of the LED from the looks of it. It may not be in line with the charging functionality, but so despite the outside looking so bad, the inside has remained really clean. And this is actually a pretty good design because they account for water ingress and give it plenty of opportunity to escape. So, everything in here after 2 years, I think December 21st, 2016 is when I actually bought these, and I would have thrown one of these outside pretty quickly. So It's really been out there for about 2 years. Um, I have not looked up any of this stuff. I had my suspicion though that the battery management was on the board, but I don't know that to be true. But I guess it's possible it could have the management in the top here. And I really haven't pulled this battery apart to look. Yeah, so I guess I thought maybe I could throw in a bigger battery, but it may or may not need management in order to do that. But you've got tons and tons of room in here, and one of the things I wanted to do um, is just throw an ESP8266 in here, and you know, for not a lot of money, you're getting a fair amount of components, and then you could, also make this part of your home automation and just have it trigger um, when things happen, which is nice. Or maybe throw a temperature sensor in there too while you're at it. Um, but first, I just wanted to see what the longevity of it was and how it performed over time. And it is still technically working. So I guess real quick, let's check the state of the battery, because that could be telling. And this is all lies because I actually just did this a little while ago, and it's also been sitting under this LED. But just to show you guys, or the one person that watches this video. So we're at 3.5. I was like at 3.4 something. Again, it's 5 a.m. here. I doubt this thing has been coming on, but this is at the end of the stroke. So being at 3.4 or 3.5 volts, that's at least the sign of a healthy battery. It's not, this guy has been losing the race. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is, I actually scrubbed on this real hard to try to get whatever that shit was off of there. And it's just looking pretty horrible. I mean, compare that to when it was new and the clarity of when it was new. And I tend to think it was all the sun damage, just because this is so potted. And I don't think this has deposits on it like this did. But I do think both just reacted with the sun really poorly. So I think I'll give this a swipe of some UV protectant and throw it out there as well. But even so, at the rate, let me grab this light. Yeah, so I mean, technically it's working. Yeah, this isn't a lot of light, and it might be a little bit. Let's see if we can compare that to one that is new. And in fact, I might even just check the state of charge of this guy. Now, that flickering that you just saw, that could be the result of the panel picking up light. But also, I think it's this fucking switch. So I probably would just remove this switch. It goes in and out. I don't know what you call those, but it's a push type switch. Yeah, I don't know. I tend to think, well, these are actually about the same. You can see this one's fucking flaky. Now, he's been in a box for 2 years, so his lithium battery could be pretty low. I do notice, I don't think you can really see it in the video, but if I go out of focus, maybe you can. Man, but there's definite color differences. Here, 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 and here. These kind of look warm. These look more blue. But honestly, they all look about the same brightness to me, so it's not as bad as I was thinking earlier before I started poking at this switch. And I really do think this switch might be the base of some of the issues. If you run into issues with this thing, maybe just solder that switch closed, because there's really no need to ever turn it off. But yeah, this feels like way less light than what I was seeing. And for the first 6 months, this guy put off tons of light. And in fact, I had deer setting it off, and I really noticed it. And even over the last year, I know I remember noticing it, and it's been working, but it sure did get nasty sometime, and it you can really see the discoloration. You can see the pitting that's going on. So definitely I would put some protectant on there. Yeah. But other than that, the design is totally acceptable in terms of water egress and stuff like that. Um, this is a better design than a lot of things, and just a single nail. This it's gonna look like this after a couple years. I didn't even have any bugs move in, although one tried. We had the one on the back, and then you can see right there that there must have been a little baby spider in there or something. So yeah, I think these are hackable as shit. I may actually fool around with this guy, and I'm certainly gonna throw this guy back outside where it's really not doing anything useful at this point. Maybe I'll give this battery a quick charge and see if it behaves, as good as new. And real quick, just for comparison, I will check this other battery, because I suspect, this thing was a lot brighter, and I suspect it's just closer to being dead than anything else. But I just want to see the battery voltage on here, and maybe see if there's any difference between the two. I haven't looked ever in this one. It's just been sitting in a box. And then I have some other LED lights as well that have been performing a little better, but pretty much just, read between the lines. Like, if they're specifying ridiculous values, then don't buy it. And the other thing is, getting the largest panel you can get in these little things. Like, I might have bought, if I had to do it over again, I might buy one of the wide ones, because it has twice the panels. Now granted, it's going to have twice the LED, but that really doesn't matter if your run times are small, So actually, yeah, we're fully charged. Wait. I was reading in millivolts. Hold on now. Let me get my lies straight here. Shit's getting on my nerves here. Which, is that the battery? Are you my battery? Oh yeah. This guy's almost dead. So sitting in a box really hasn't done him well. And he was cut off, so that's just internal discharging. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to charge him up. This glue in the other one, which looks a lot less clear, it feels like wax now, whereas this one feels rubbery. So that's kind of interesting. But it is still plush. So whatever. Yeah, man, I think these things are pretty cool. I think throwing it outside, I would put some protectant on it. I might whip this board out and just fuse that switch so that you don't have any kind of flakiness. You know, and then of course you have to face this towards the sun, which is probably the biggest downer. But for me, that worked out really good because all I'm trying to do is provide a little bit of light over my garage bays outside, and then you know I have real lights that I'm working on for lighting. So this is just kind of so your eyeballs can have reference and not fall over because it's so fucking dark. Anyway, that's my little review of whatever the hell these are. They seem to be everywhere, and I gave them away to family too, I think 2 years ago, and haven't heard any complaints, but I don't know if people actually use any of the shit that I give them. So but I think the design is good, and there's tons of space in here to hack shit. I definitely am looking forward to putting like a little ESP8266 in here and triggering on motion and stuff like that. So you know, these will also just be, maybe I'll put a humidity sensor in there too. These will, I think these are great little dudes to integrate into your home automation. So you know, you're gonna have a nice outdoor enclosure. You can see how well, you know, how well the design works for dealing with water. So that's kind of a big deal, and you get a lot of components for not a lot of money. So there you go. Somebody was curious how these things are gonna survive. I guess this is what you can expect. Hugga nugga.